Welcome to the Savage Executive Podcast, where we lead with clarity, build with strategy, and multiply what matters. I'm your host, Steve Smith, and today's topic, vision. But not just any vision, clear, actionable, conviction-driven vision. This is episode 8. Here's the reality. Leaders don't just react, they direct. They chart the course. And when everything feels complex or chaotic, it's the leader with clarity who becomes the anchor for the team. Think about it. Storms don't create direction, they reveal it. In the same way, when pressure is on, your team will look to you, not just for answers, but for clarity. If you've ever struggled to cast vision in a way that actually sticks, to clarify the path ahead when things feel foggy, or to rally people around what matters most, then stay with me today, because in the next few minutes, we're going to unpack exactly why clarity is your competitive advantage as a leader and how to get better at it starting today. All right, let's begin with, why does clarity matter? Well, clarity matters because oftentimes we think hustle is so important, but hustle without clarity is just motion. There's no shortage of leaders working hard. The problem is activity alone doesn't guarantee progress. Without a clear target, you're just moving faster toward burnout. Also, clarity creates momentum. When people understand exactly where they're headed and why it matters, they will run faster and with more energy than you could ever push them to go. Think about a rowing team. If half of the crew is rowing east, the other half is rowing west, it doesn't matter how hard they row, they're going nowhere. That's what happens in organizations without clarity. This is all about providing clarity for those that you are leading. You see the difference between vision and plans. Vision is direction. Plans are the steps to get you to that vision and direction. Plans change, but vision anchors. It anchors people to a greater future of the organization. But see, as leaders, oftentimes we want to just jump into action. We want to jump into the plans and we want to get busy doing. But if we don't know where we are going, or if our team doesn't know where we are going ultimately, then all of that activity can be frustrating because we're not going in the right direction. So let me give you some ways to cast a vision that will grab people's attention. Let me give you 3 key ingredients. Number 1, root it in purpose. Don't just talk about what you want to do. Talk about why it matters. People will work harder for something that has meaning than they will for money or applause. Have you ever noticed that when people are a part of something that is bigger than themselves, they will work hard for accomplishing a particular vision, even more so than just a raise or a bonus that might be a perk along the way. This is what it means to root your vision in purpose. Number 2, make it vivid. Your job as a leader is to paint a picture so clear that others can see themselves in it. You need to use sensory language. Help them imagine what it will look like, what it will feel like, what it will even sound like when the vision comes to life. They start seeing themselves in that future vision. And then number 3, repeat and reinforce. See, the truth is vision leaks. It's your job to keep refilling it. That means in your staff meetings or in your one-on-ones, you're using phrasing and vision statements that continually are reinforcing where we are headed. See, oftentimes we use vision statements to get a job started or to get a big project off of the ground, but then we stop using those vision statements. Can I encourage you, continue using those vision statements all throughout the project, all throughout where you're headed, until you arrive at that destination. Continue using those vision statements. When you think you've said it too many times, you're just barely beginning to say it enough. So keep using those vision statements over and over and over again. What you'll find is you'll start to hear your team in the culture repeating those vision statements. And that is a great sign that everybody knows where we are headed. So how do we get to the clarity that matters when we are setting the vision for a big project or a direction for our organization? I would encourage you to do 4 things. Number 1, define what are we doing in one clear sentence, no jargon, such as we are launching a community tutoring center to serve 100 students in year 1. What are we doing? Number 2, why are we doing it? Tie it to the values and mission of your organization, because we believe every child deserves the chance to succeed, and we're uniquely positioned to help. Number 3, how will we get there? Outline 3 to 5 major steps. Many times your team is going to need you not only to paint the big picture, but also what are the steps for getting to that particular goal or that particular vision that we are outlining. If they don't know where the next step is, it doesn't matter how clearly they understand the vision, they're not going to be able to accomplish what we want them to accomplish. Now, we can invite our teams to be involved in this. We can roll out this big initiative and help them with collaboration, but we have to define how we are going to get there. And then number 4, what does success look like? Be specific and measurable. In our example, if by this time next year we've seen measurable academic improvement in 75% of students served, we will know that it is working. So we will measure that, we will define that so that we know that it is working. So the 4 things: what are we doing? Why are we doing it? How will we get there? What does success look like? I would use this quadrant to check your own communication. If a team member can't answer all 4 after hearing you speak, you haven't been clear enough. I would spot check that. Have a trusted team member speak in. Can they answer those 4 questions as you're setting a compelling vision for where you are heading? There are several pitfalls to setting a clear vision. Number 1, being too vague. If your vision is reach more people, you haven't given direction, you've given a wish. Pitfall number 2, too complex. If it takes 15 minutes to explain your vision, it's too long. Complexity kills clarity. Now, some of the steps to get there might end up being more complex, but the vision has to be simplified so that somebody can understand where you are going. And pitfall number 3, it's too leader-centered. Vision is not about your platform, it's about the mission's progress. There have been times in my leadership that we've set a vision, we've set this big project, this big goal, this big vision of where we are going, and then we made it overcomplicated. We did not give clarity to how we were going to accomplish that goal. We didn't answer the main 4 questions. We just had this big objective of where we want to go. And then people get busy. They have priorities of their own. They aren't tethered to the vision because we've never clearly outlined that vision. We've made it too complex, so they don't know where to begin. And they begin wandering rather than clearly focusing. Sad to say, there have been a number of big initiatives that we have never reached because I, as a leader, did not set the vision the right way. Recently, we've decided on a vision of a leadership pathway for our staff. This leadership pathway is to give clarity to every level of our organization, where people are and how they can move into another level of leadership if they desire to do so. We help our people grow from volunteers to leaders who multiply leaders. That's the vision statement. We have to repeat it often. We have to make sure that people understand where we are going. We repeat it everywhere in staff meetings, onboarding process, hallway conversations, but then we have to back it up with the simple steps, making sure they understand the steps in order to accomplish that. Now, level 1, level 2, level 3. Everyone could see where they were and what was next. The beauty of all this, people are starting to say it back, unprompted. It shows up in conversations that I'm not even a part of. That's when I knew that the vision wasn't just mine anymore. It belonged to the whole team. So here's your savage takeaway for today. Sticky vision lives in people's language, not just in leaders' notes. You see, clarity isn't a one-time speech. It's a leadership rhythm. So here's your challenge. Write down a vision in one paragraph. Share it with your team, and then ask them, does this make sense? Would you follow this? Invite their feedback without defensiveness, because clarity grows in community. But lead with clarity. Understand the vision of where you are headed and lead your teams to that vision. If this episode helped you, share it with a fellow leader, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Until next time, stay sharp, lead boldly, and keep building what matters.